What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Tonight we have a great guest. We have Rachael from Addict with Purpose. She's going to come on here and share her story. I'm pretty excited to hear this one. I'm always excited to hear stories. It gives me hope. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. I'm going to read the clarity statement. And if you guys don't know what the clarity statement is, it just pretty much lets you know that you're welcome no matter what kind of recovery path you're going through or whatever you choose. You're welcomed here at the Hope Shot. Okay, so the Hope Shot clarity statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways to recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our family. All right, let's see who we got in the comments. And you guys would share this live feed, man. We appreciate it. Never know who this might help tonight. We got Marie. What's up, Marie? Glad to see you. We got David, recovery in the house. What's up, man? We got Nani. I think that's how I say it. What's up? We got Haley. Hey, good to see you. I think that's your partner in crime over there at Addict with Purpose. Right, Rachel? About to do some big things up there where you are in Tennessee, right? We got Lakeland Crackheads. All right. Hell yeah. Welcome. we got Big Steve. What's up? What's up, Big Steve? Love you, man. Marie, I'm grateful for you. Grateful for you too. Thank you, Haley, for sharing. We got Tana. Hello. We got Laura from Las Vegas. What's up? And she's my soul sister. That's right. I know that's right. We got Michael. Good to see you. And we got Rachael Kagan. Happy Sunday, family. Thank you for sharing. All right. So let's get right into Rachel's story. Rachael and met online. We are, creators. We collab together. We converse. We try to see how we can help people. I mean, that's the name of the game, is just us working together for a common purpose to see how we can help the next person, whether it's videos, whether it's collabing, sharing each other's stuff, just anything we could do to help each other. And we vibe well together. So I'm going to bring Rachael on and bam. What's up, Rachael?
Hi. I'm always so chipper.
Yeah, I think you're chipper because you got the camera to work and you didn't screw it up. Isn't that it?
You pretty much. Because I've been sweating it all day. Like, what if the camera doesn't work? What if I have to go on my phone and the phone's like going to be little and not side by side? And struggle
the phone works. The phone works always. Yeah. Listen, when I first started this, podcasting, recovery stuff, I used to record it for YouTube and have to edit it later. And the whole time it's recording. And then I was like, oh my God, did I hit the record button? Oh my gosh, is the video working? What happens if the audio is not working? And like, it was just anxiety the whole time.
Unnecessary anxiety. Yeah, I know.
Unnecessary. I have a lot of that in my life. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, story of my life. It's like I thought that we were going to get sober and the anxiety part of like coming down and having to live miserable was going to be gone. And it's like, no, dude, life's still life. Like anxiety still happens.
Yeah, and that unprovoked anxiety always is going to come around every once in a while. And I've gotten really good at trying to like recognize when it's starting to come up. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Yo, we don't need you right now. It's not your turn.
right. Take a breath, breathe. Wait, nope, still there. Yep, still there. Still there. It's coming. We're gonna work through it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to hear your story. So go ahead and start sharing whatever you want.
Awesome. Well, first, thank you so much for inviting me to come on. I love all the work that you and your homies are doing. Like, you guys are doing awesome stuff out there and all over. Like, I love when I get to meet people in the community doing stuff right where they live. But then when it becomes nationwide and worldwide, it's just mind blowing, because years ago, you could only find recovery in a room. And today, like, you're doing stuff in Spanish. That is so cool. And hitting the
whole... Oh, you've seen that?
Yeah. So Yeah, that's
Technology
right.
is
Like
crazy, yo.
redubbing into Spanish. And now people in other countries can literally hear what you're saying or bringing out in their own language is like, that's freaking awesome. So kudos to you. You guys are doing the damn thing. So first off, Rachael, I'm a person in long-term recovery. Justin and I were just talking a little bit about stigma, right? And so I'm like, do I introduce myself as an addict or do I say long-term recovery? I go through the motions all the time, but I am an addict. But I'm a person in recovery too. And so those statements hold true to me. Addiction runs really heavy in my family. I come from a long line of addicts. My dad is in recovery. I can't even think of how many years he has. Like he's somewhere between 32 and 35. I should know this and I don't. So I apologize, Dad, if you watch this. I know he's an old timer and somebody I definitely look up to. I'm 43, turning 44 in just 2 days. And so that tells you if my dad's 30 something years sober, kind of what the beginning of my childhood was like. And I grew up in a home with a dad who was addicted to a lot of stuff. That's his story to tell, so I don't get too into that. He likes it to be his story, but it trickled down into my family. I have 3 sisters, and one of the coolest parts about this holiday was we were sober together. This holiday, which holidays get pretty shitty, especially when you have a long line of addiction that runs through. But my aunts and uncles and cousins, there's a lot of recovery today in my family. But growing up was hard. I grew up in New York. I grew up super Irish Catholic family. Everybody else was. My mom had a different religion, but that was kind of the family background, and it was hard. We moved to. I loved my childhood. It was hard, but we moved to Utah when I was about 11, and the reason we moved is my older sister was like dating the neighborhood drug dealer, and my parents thought we got to get out of here, my dad wanted to save my sister's life. And they thought you could run from your problems. And if you've ever tried to run from your problems, especially when you're someone in recovery, you start to find out that they always find you. And my sister moved. She was in high school, I guess, and she was like a hippie granola. And she continued to be who she was. Moving from one state to another didn't change anything. And that's where like my real trauma started, because I came to Utah as an 11-year-old. I think I was in 6th grade. It was the late 80s. And I was like super Queens, New York. So I'm like, hey, where's my mother at? I need some coffee. Where's the dog? You got a quart over there? Ma. And everybody laughed at me in Utah. Like Utah, super LDS, blonde community. And we came in swinging with a whole different vibe. And mothers, everybody made fun of me, and I loved my grandma so much I just wanted glasses like hers. But I didn't realize like that was not the cool thing to do. So I got teased a lot. I have a twin, and I'll never forget, for me this was traumatic. Like I was hanging out with the popular kids, and they told my sister to tell me to stop hanging out with them, that they don't want us around. And that was like my first really hurt There we go. Did that go off, or did I just?
Yeah, it went off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I saw it circling and I stopped. So that was my first time where rejection really hurt me, and I find a group of friends that were going to accept me. So I got into junior high school, and I found some other misfit kids who, some of them happened to be from New York also. They were all from different states, and they were just the other misfits. And we started getting into trouble because we just wanted to go into drinking, and then we wanted to go into getting high. And I was a teenage runaway at the age of 15. And I was I was just a mess. I disappeared for about a month. I was hanging out with gangsters, thinking like I was totally that little white girl trying to be a gangster, but I just wanted someone to love me. And I don't know. I guess my internet's super spotty. Anyway, so
hey,
go ahead.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Do you have your phone near you?
Yeah.
Try it from there real quick. Can you go to the link and go in through your phone and see if that might help it? I hate to do it to you, but I don't want you to keep getting cut off. Hopefully it'll work better.
Yeah.
I wish I had like sponsors and I could like run credits or something like that for a second.
Yeah, right.
Please hold for word from our sponsors. And I hit the
Word
video,
from our
but I don't
sponsor.
know.
Oh, you know what? Maybe should I take this off and put it on not on Wi-Fi?
No, just
On my
see if it
phone?
works better. Sometimes it does.
Okay.
And if not, then you can take it off. But might as well try something, right?
Yeah.
See if it works better.
It's telling me to copy into Safari.
You have to go through Google.
Go through Google?
Yeah. If you can, or do whatever it says.
Yeah. Hold on.
Well, let's read some comments real quick while we're...
Yeah. While I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying.
We got Tiffany. Hey, everyone. Woohoo. Happy Sunday in December. We have Rachel says, Jennifer says, hey, Rachel. And Rachel says, happy early birthday to you. Is it working?
Thank you. It's taken forever to go in. I don't know. Maybe I'll just try to keep yapping.
Yeah, just keep yapping. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Sorry,
Yeah.
it was just getting cut off as a maybe a circle in the block.
Yeah, I don't know, because this is just being weird. So entering studio. I'll just, if it does it again, then I'll go in the studio on my phone. Anyway, so I found a group of friends who I related to, and we got in trouble a lot. I was a teenage runaway. During the time of me being that teenage runaway, some really shitty things happened that I was taken advantage of by a bunch of dudes. We were out swimming in a pool. I got really, really drunk, and I was super naive to thinking like being around guys in a bikini was an okay thing to do. And as soon as I was drunk, I puked all in the pool, and I went inside to be sick, right? And that was like the open invitation to take advantage of a young girl. And I didn't want to go home after that. Like, I really thought, how can I go home and tell my mom and my family, like, this awful thing happened to me? So I kind of stayed out on the streets, but I missed my family. And when I went, my mom, I called my mom. She's like, yeah, for lunch. Should I try to jump in here?
Yeah.
And they took me to rehab. So that was my first round of going to rehab. I was a sophomore in high school. Is it still stopping? No, right? This is fun.
Yeah, it's stopping. You want to try to go into the studio with your phone?
Hold on. I'm going to do it on my phone.
Yeah.
I know. I was so excited to get a laptop, so I wasn't doing it on my phone, but I probably should have just done it on my phone the whole time.
Sometimes they work better, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'd done a podcast recently, and they were like, oh, no, it's better when you do it on the phone, makes you small. So I just thought that was on everything. Open unsupported browser. I don't know, dude. It's saying not supported.
Do you have Google on your phone?
I thought I did it in Google. It's opening again. The easiest way.
It's not supported.
Now it's trying to make me do an account. Hold on. Hold, please. Let's try one more time. Yeah. So I was in rehab my whole entire high school. I probably did like, I don't know, 1 year in total outside of rehab. Super grateful for rehab because I did graduate high school. I definitely wouldn't have graduated had I been left to my own vices because I never went to school. So I graduated high school. That was really cool. In 1997, we moved to California. We got out of Utah. I swore to myself I would never, ever go back there. This is being so weird. Copy the link. I'm trying to multitask and read things at the same time. But anyway, I went to California. I worked in Hollywood. It was really cool. But like as an 18-year-old working in Hollywood, I made a ton of money. And guess what an 18-year-old with a problem does in Hollywood who makes a ton of money? I waste a ton of money. And I was getting high. I was cruising up and down Sunset when you could do that. That was totally fun. And those were the years where it was fun. We were like popping e-pills all the time and clubbing. And we're like, when you Google, I'm going to try Chrome. Those were like the years where you could go to work off 15 minutes of sleep. I can't, if I don't get 8 hours of sleep now, like I feel like I'm hungover. Open this. This keeps telling me, it just keeps bringing me back to open this in Safari. And then it doesn't let me do it. I'm going to try it one more time here. I'm in Google. Maybe I need to like close it out. So I got introduced to cocaine at about 20. I was on full blown into meth by the age of 21. And if you know meth, you know what that kind of life is. I was back living in New York at that point, and I experienced my first round of homelessness in New York due to my meth addiction. I was a total street kid living in a backpack, hanging out in the tunnels and the subways and doing like real underground New York City homeless life. And it was hard. I called my friend and we were partying one night in Brooklyn, and I was like, sis, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was living in Connecticut. She came and picked me up from Connecticut, took me to her house. I didn't want to get rid of my drugs just yet, because just in case, like, you know, just in case I wanted to not be sober, I kept my little, and it was like, dude, maybe a 20 bag. Like it wasn't even anything crazy, but I just kept it. And about 3 days into being with her, I got honest with her and I was like, Stace, dog, I just want you to know, like, I brought drugs into your house. I'm sorry, but here, let's throw them out. And she was really hurt. She was like, get out of my house. You disrespected me and my home and my husband. And I tried to help you, but I can't help you because you brought drugs into my house. And there I was again, back to being homeless. This was where I kind of started to hang out. I moved in with my kid's dad. We decided to get married really quick. Super toxic. Like I was hiding in the bathroom, doing drugs all the time, laying in bed for 3 days in a row without sleeping, trying to pretend I was somebody else. And it destroyed our relationship. It was super violent because, like, try to get in the way of somebody who wants to get high tonight. It doesn't work. I ended up got pregnant, and this was the greatest day of my life because it was the first time that I really realized, like, I need to get sober. And I got really lucky, and I got sober for my children. I had 2 kids back to back, didn't drink, didn't do drugs, for about 3 years. And when they tell you if you get sober for somebody else, it doesn't work. Well, this was the first time I really experienced that because I got sober because my kids were babies. As soon as they weren't babies and like breastfeeding anymore, I had no reason not to get high anymore. And then I got back into my addiction and I started drinking, and I was drinking ridiculously. And if I drink, I'm like the alcoholic of the worst way. When I drink, I want to do drugs, because I get this really great bad idea that if I get really, really drunk, if I do a little bit of drugs, then I could drive home safely, and then I can get. And it just like creates this ugly cycle. Sorry, I can't get it onto my phone or this other thing, but we'll just roll with it. I wish you did have sponsors for credits here. And it just kept being an ugly cycle going over and over again. I had a super toxic relationship. My ex-husband was abusive, and I played a big part in that. Would he have been so abusive had I not been on drugs? I don't know, but he was. And so anyway, we ended up getting divorced. We had ended up moving back to Utah. I lived in Brazil in between then. I didn't want to go, we moved to Brazil when the kids were young. Again, I was like trying to run away from my addiction, and I thought I'd be sober there. But let me tell you, when you're drunk in Brazil, you can totally find cocaine. Like, you can totally do it. And when it was time to move back to America, I didn't want to go back to New York because I really didn't want to be on the drugs and the life that I had. So we went back to Utah, and we went out to a bar, and those exact same friends that I had gotten in all this trouble with in high school, I ran into them, and they were doing the exact same thing they were doing then, but now they're like professional pimps and gangsters and running strip clubs and running, like, it was crazy. And I left my marriage for that. I got back into using cocaine, and it was like almost like getting high for the first time all over again. So this whole new addiction started, and that was like, I don't know, 2008 or something like that. Ended up getting divorced in 2013. I started my career of going in and out of jail, multiple DUIs. I've got ridiculous amounts of jail stays that I'm so grateful. I think I'm at the part where I'm starting to get a pardon going. I've got them all kind of ready to go. And if the paperwork wasn't so overwhelming, I'd probably already have a pardon for most of my charges, but we're working on it. So back to being homeless, destroyed my marriage. My kids didn't know who I was. You know, every year Mother's Day came, I'm calling my kids from jail, wondering why nobody will let me talk to them, wanting them to tell me I'm this great mom, and I'm crying because I miss my children. But I couldn't let go of the life. I couldn't let go of the streets. I couldn't let go of the drugs. I couldn't let go of the people. It was all just chaos over and over again until I had a couple of different attempts in between there trying to get sober, never worked a program, learned my stuff from rehab, thought I was invincible, figured I could do it however I wanted to. I was going to still hang out in the trap or hang out at like motels, but not get high. Well, I still got high, even though nobody was looking. They're like, how come you're up for 3 days, Rachael, when you're sober? And I'm like, could you left your bag on the table? And I just ate a little bit. But I was a mess. 2017 came. I went to my mom's house. It was a really awful summer. I'd been in and out of jail over and over again. And I wanted to get sober. I went to my mom's house, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I used to think, like, all the years going into AA programs or like going to meetings, and when people would be like telling how they did it, when they said I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, I didn't understand what that meant. I'm like, it just until it makes sense. So I get to my mom's house. I hadn't slept in weeks. I'm totally homeless. I'm in the same clothes probably for about a week. It was awful. I'm skin and bone. My skin is gray. My hair's like blonde down from here down, like Ratchet, just strung out. And I told my mom, I'm like, listen, if the warrant squad comes, please don't open the door. Like, I'm here and I'm going to get better. And I slept for 4 days on her couch. My kids were like 5 and 7 at the time, literally 7 and 9, sitting on my lap and playing on top of me while I was totally passed out for 3 days straight. And my mom took pictures of it. I was pretty pissed off then, but I'm glad she did now because it reminds me today of where I would be. And the doorbell rang. And I remember just thinking, who the hell is that? And hearing my little 7-year-old say, Mommy, Mommy, yeah, my mommy's here. And I'm like, who the hell is here and looking for me? And when I opened, awesome part to stop. When I opened my eyes, it was the cops. And so that was my last time ever going to jail. I got into the jail. My mom supported me. She knew something was different. You know, up until then, my kids weren't involved. I just wasn't home. And so in my addict thinking, it was like, I'm not on me to get arrested that day. And the cops were really cool. They didn't cuff me in front of them. I knew I needed help, and I really surrendered, and I found God in a jail cell.
I think that was it. Hold please. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you, Jonathan, for waiting. I appreciate y'all working and waiting for us. We're gonna get this thing figured out right now. Right now. That's good to know. Thanks, Rudolph, for the wise words and information. If anybody needs a Geico, then there you go. I'm sure he has it. Can be a mess. It's okay. Yeah, we're at the can't even think right now. We're at the mercy of the internet gods, right? Appreciate you, Amber. Worth the wait. She is. We are working out it right now. Um, okay. Oh, she's back.
Okay, I'm on my phone.
She's back.
Yeah, maybe. We're to see.
No, we're back, baby. We're back.
Yes. Okay, but you'll have to tell me where I was because I have no idea. I think we're about
to start with your kids, and you got arrested. They were like they're here, and you got arrested, but the cops came to the door, and your kids said you were there. You got arrested, went to prison.
Yeah. So when I was released on September 1st, my mom, for the first time, was like, you can come back. And I promised her I was going to be better. And she believed that. Everybody said no. My best friend told my parents, she's too far gone. My older sister at that point was like 8 years into her recovery. And she's like, Rachel's, it's too dark. My dad was like, I don't want her in my house. I burnt every bridge and I know there was no hope left. But I did what I said I was going to do, and I got sober, and I immediately, I did most people shouldn't do. I cashed in box from my job and I got like 10 grand, and I didn't have to go to work. And I did that because I didn't trust myself to go out of the house. I literally like locked myself in my mom's house for about 18 months. And that's where I got into like online recovery, and I got into advocacy work. And about 5 months into my journey, somebody asked me to be an admin on their page. And it was this really big page that got like, I don't know, within like 6 months was at like 250,000 people. And I was doing all this online recovery stuff and like learning how to be sober and helping others. When I decided to go out back into the real world, which was really scary, I started my own little group. Well, we were at that point, we were doing stuff with young people in recovery, which was a huge part. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but YPR was like a huge part of my beginning recovery from 2015, a bunch of relapses to 2017, started a chapter. It blew up. We were doing like all this cool stuff, doing community events all the time, feeding the homeless, and really, really giving back, I did a Thursday meeting every Thursday for about, I think 4 years. And I had really a couple cool jobs in between there. And then I had this really great job, and I lost my job in January, I think of 2022. And I got super depressed. And I was like going back into this cycle. It was my dream job. There was a budget cut. They let me go. And that job defined who I was as a human being. It was, transitional housing for the homeless. And it put me into this crazy depression. And I was really depressed, thought the whole entire world hated me. But I said, if I'd ever had a certain amount of money saved up, that I would move back to New York. And I don't recommend this, everybody, but during my depression, I was like, that's it. I'm getting up and I'm leaving. Everybody hates me. And I did. And last summer I moved back to New York. And I got to New York, and I don't know what happened, but my parents went and checked out Tennessee on my mom's birthday, and they bought a house, and they were like, Rachel, do you want to come? And I'm like, well, I said I was going to, when I did this move across the country with my kids, I was like, I'm going to refine God, and everything I do is going to be about having faith and trusting God to put me where I need to be in the exact moment. And so I got here, and I've been here for a little over a year, and things have been super wonderful. I think about 3 years ago, I got full custody of my kids. I've learned like all the great things that could happen. I got a car. I drove with a breathalyzer for 18 months, which was really important to me because it was all about behaviors, right? Every time I kept trying to get sober, I kept having all these really bad behaviors. So when I got sober this time, the most important thing was like, if you don't have a license, don't drive. And to some people that might be petty, but that was me doing bad behaviors and cheating, thinking that I didn't have to follow rules. And when I cheat in any way, it brings me back into this really ugly cycle. So I waited to get my license, got the breathalyzer in my car, went on through probation, went every single month, stopped getting thrown back in jail by my PO. 2 years into my recovery, I graduated or terminated from probation for the first time in God knows how long. I had one charge I was on for like a stupid petty charge. Not stupid. There's no stupid charges, but like I don't know, possession charge that was like 7 years. I couldn't get off of it because I just kept getting in trouble. I terminated probation like, what year is it? Maybe in 2020, maybe 2019. I can't even remember. But I've done a lot of really cool things. Like I've learned that I'm employable. I've learned that I can be, I co-parent with my kid's dad, where the two of us like used to not be able to sit together without screaming and cussing each other out, and him saying, "Up, they're mine, I'm taking them." To last year for my kid's 16th birthday, we went. I don't know, this might be weird to some, but we went on a family vacation together, and we went to Orange Beach, and it was really beautiful, and we had fun, and the kids got to see us not arguing. And now he comes here for their birthdays, and like at Thanksgiving he came and he spent that. And so I've learned, and I've really, really grown a lot from being this like chaotic whirlwind of a mess to like somebody people depend on. And like I depend on me, my children depend on me, my parents want me around, my sisters love me. We got to spend, Thanksgivings were not always fun because somebody was always high or drunk. And this year, my sister and I were not pushing each other. We were not telling each other, F you, let's go outside. My dad wasn't breaking up a fight. And that's a beautiful place to be. There's so many really cool things like recovery's given me. I did in my first year of recovery, I got a certification to be like a holistic health coach. I didn't end up liking doing that. I don't want to tell people how to eat and eat organic. It just kind of wasn't me, but I did that. I was like, yeah, this class isn't going to work for me. But I've done a lot of really cool things. And like today, my kids know that if I say I'm going to be there, I show up. And at the beginning of the school year, I'm helping them get ready and I'm taking them school shopping. I'm not calling from a jail cell crying, not understanding. Like it was ridiculous. When I used to call them, I would just bawl and like hyperventilate because I loved them so much and I missed them and I wanted to be with them, but I'm like calling from a jail cell. So they just knew this twisted mom who was just always crying and saying, I love you. But like, how do I love you when I'm always in jail? And they don't even know that version of me. Like if anybody says, well, do you remember your mom when she was like that? And we've created so much wonderful, beautiful memories over the last 6 years. Like they remember this version of me, which I love. Just bought my kid a car. I took her to get her driver's license last week. Well, their kid's dad bought them the car, but we've done the whole scary part of teaching your teenage driver how to drive. If you've done that in your lifetime, you know what I mean? That shit's scary as fuck. She tonight was like, Mom, can I go take my sister up the block? And I'm like, not yet. I'm getting on a thing today. I can't right now. I can't worry about where y'all are and are you going to come back? But life is beautiful today. One of the big things, and you just have to tell me when to shut up. I told you I'll talk the whole time. Greatest parts of recovery is learning how to be humble and what humility is and being able to like take ownership for the part that I play in things. Because I was a blamer. It was everybody else's fault. It was my childhood. It was my sister, my kid's dad. These are all the reasons why I am who I am. And today I know like all that shit that I did was because I was sick and I wasn't ready. So life is really good. Life is super good. I'm a peer support. Like I've done really cool things. I started a nonprofit, did syringe exchange. I'm a harm reductionist. Like I believe you can't die if you're dead. Some people don't believe in harm reduction, but like harm reduction saves people's lives. And I'm a huge advocate for that. I love feeding the homeless and helping the homeless and just being boots on the ground out in the community and having, I love Dear Recovery. Shout out. Let's have a conversation because that's like, it's important. You've got to talk to people. So I don't know. Should I keep yapping?
Yeah, Rachael.
I'll go for hours.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
You can hear me. Okay, good. Yeah, the and that's exactly right. It's like harm reduction. It's like people can't recover if they're dead. So they can't help themselves if they're dead. So it's the gentle, softer way. It's like a soft handoff, as you say. That's what we call it, soft handoff. From the drugs are horrible these days. The psychosis, man. We have to have a softer way to get back into reality. And if it's harm reduction and let them know that somebody cares, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for not missing a beat, even though there's technical difficulties.
This is way better. So for the future, the phone is the answer.
Yeah, yes, the phone is the answer. So thank you for sharing your story. It was it's a testament of true strength and hope and all that. It's I love that you guys co-parent like that. I think I think all of us adults can have a much better world for our kids if we get out of our selfish old ways. And damn, man, at one time we did actually like each other. So why the hell can't we just like call it truce for the moment just to show our kids a healthy environment, And it's sad that our selfish minds and our behaviors can't get to an understanding of, hey, this isn't about us. This is about them. And we did this together. It was let's have a truce, it's a truce. It's,
Yeah.
and I feel like if adults could get to that realization, we'd be in a much better place, and we stop creating the cycle, passing it down from generation to generation
Right.
with our kids,
Right.
So kudos to you on that. That's awesome. Another
Yeah.
thing.
And like,
Go ahead. No, you go.
oh no, I was going to say, because hurt people, right? And so in the beginning, like when you're breaking up with someone, like you said, like you loved that person more than likely, and that's why you had kids together. So the breakup is hard. Like when you realize, like you start getting petty, and your hurt feelings get taken out on the kids, and kids become a weapon, and it's like it takes years to get through that. Anybody going through what I went through or your own shit, like I hope and pray that you get to the part where you can co-parent effectively sooner than later, because it's so important.
It is very important, to get to that place, and it can happen, as long as two grown ass adults, I said grown ass adults, get to a place of understanding, like you said, hurt
Right.
people hurt people. And I think it's mostly, it's like you said, it's like we want to try to that tit for tat, like I'll show you, I'll get you, and it's not a good place, because the one that suffers the most of the kids.
Yeah, it's ugly.
But then I also liked how you said that your identity lied in your job, and when that was gone, it's like you're in I call it identity crisis mode, where you don't know who you are, where you belong, because everything was into that. You are a part of that. That's who you were. That's what made up your whole DNA, pretty much, of your purpose, and to be stripped of that, that's I feel like, I'm kind of going through that a little bit in a sense. Because I've been doing drywall my whole life. I've been since I was 16. I've been doing drywall. I'm good at it. I'm really good at it, right? And I'm changing, and I'm going into the nonprofit work to help people from this, and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm in freak out mode a little bit. So a little bit, not I'm getting better as time goes on. I'm getting better, but yeah, it's panic. It's not knowing where you fit. It's like everything was put together. I'm well put together, and then bam, everything's all out of place. Like it's a mess. Everything's all messy. I don't know how to act.
It's hard. Changing careers is hard because, like, it's who you are. And nonprofit world's hard. Like, you got to figure out what the rules are to your grant and how you're going to get paid and follow those rules so freaking strictly. And nonprofit is not easy. But it's also super rewarding once you figure it out.
Yeah, and to a bunch of rule breakers, right?
Right? Right? That's the hard part. Like, wait, can't I just go around the edge a little? And it's like, no, dude, you lose your funding.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, we could do it this way.
Right.
We could go around here. We go to Billy Bob, right? No.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that, and it's a trial and error type thing, I guess, with what's going on, and see what works, and try to come up with the one thing that I'm grateful for is creativity,
Yeah.
to be creative and think of new innovative ways to try to help enhance. I call it enhance the system, right?
Yep.
That's what we're trying to do. Not reinvent the wheel. We're just
Nope.
like enhance.
Yep. You're just making it better, better than it was
That's
a
it.
few minutes ago. You don't have
Hopefully.
to reinvent the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully we can, that's the goal. And that's why I feel like the collabs that we have between, creators and individuals in our community, I think everything is very important, vital to create the systems and the communication that we need to make it all work.
Yeah.
Because if we're never communicating, we're never going to grow,
Right. Yep.
and
working
that's
together.
Working together. Yep. Yeah. That's, so you've lived in Brazil. How was it in Brazil? I want to know, how was it how was like the difference? Because I know there's probably a language barrier, right? Do you
for
know?
Sure. There's 100% a language barrier, and I had to learn Portuguese. I totally was immersed. Like, I lived with my kid's dad's family, and in Europe, right, everybody like learns English at a very young age. Well, it's not like that in the South, right? When you go down into South America and Central America, you have to be rich, like silly rich, to speak English. So nobody speaks English. I'm living in this totally foreign world, and I wasn't allowed to talk. My kid's dad, everywhere we went, he's like, "Don't talk, we'll get robbed. Don't talk. If they even think you're American, we're getting robbed." So that made it really hard. Oh yeah, it was, and I was scared. I mean, you're driving down, there's people on like, what are those called? Not motorcycles, dirt bikes with freaking Uzis and like machine guns on their laps. Like, it was crazy. We didn't live in those areas. But I taught English, and so like everybody, you're a hot commodity if you're from America and you could teach English to the Brazilians. So that was really cool. But I learned how to speak all right. I mean, my Portuguese was not good, but people could understand what I was saying. It was fun. The beaches were beautiful. Food was good. It was an experience of a lifetime. Like, I'd love to go back.
I was going to ask you, did you speak Brazilian or something? And I was like, and then you said Portuguese. I was like, oh, okay, man, that's the language. I was like,
yeah, everybody does that. Everybody does that. It's just like common. Like, why would it not? Why isn't it Brazilian?
Yeah, it would make sense to me, but I think it sounds cooler, just to let you know. But
yeah,
no,
it should be Brazilian. Like, Brazilian makes sense. Portuguese from Portugal makes sense. Brazilian makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's beautiful
fun.
down there.
I met a lot of people. Gorgeous. Like, the beaches, the Gulf shores are beautiful, but they do not beat like the beaches of Brazil.
Awesome.
I don't know anywhere else.
Well,
I know New York beaches, but they're not pretty in the South.
Yeah, I'm from Florida, so
Yeah.
Didn't you live in Florida?
No, I tried to. My kid's dad's family is in Orlando, and like I wanted to live there, but I was like, this is a little too.
Yeah.
But now I'm like here in Tennessee, and I thought it was hot, like, and it's not. It's freezing.
No, definitely not. Like you said, it's not Miami, but you thought it was Miami, but it's not. All right, let's read some comments.
Totally gets cold. Nope, not at all.
We got David. David says, for me, my old behaviors became less when I finally stopped feeding the gorilla in the corner. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean?
I know. I was like, ooh, who's okay. We got Jennifer, 728 days. Congratulations. I think I see Nikki up here. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. We got Jonathan has 6/14/22 this go around. Congrats, buddy. We have Lauren. Lauren is 12/19/21, 16 days from 2 years. So in 2 years she'll be, I mean, in 16 days she'll be 2 years. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rachel's 3/9/2020. We got Amber says hers is 12/24/21, right before Christmas. Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. That's a hell of a Christmas present, I'll tell you that, to your
Yes.
family. We got Nikki has 1,014 days today. Congrats.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. And we have Amber says you did the work and you're showing everyone that doing the work does pay off. We got Erica in the house. God bless y'all. What's up, Erica? We got Lauren says the third or fourth time I showed up for my daughter after getting clean, I could see the shock in her face that I was there. Recovery is a gift in so many ways.
Beautiful.
Jennifer says, amen. To see the look on my 9-year-old's face when I told him he was coming home, you can't replace that. Nikki, yes, so beautiful to put your family back together and create a healthy environment for everyone. Proud of you. Peer support saves lives as well. Sober now, you had a huge out. You had a huge out in the recovery recently. It was so beautiful to see you in action. So inspiring. Let me see. We got Maria says she is glad she watched this. She didn't skip a beat
Maria's
either.
going on day 2. So like a lot for Marie. Like, you got this, sis.
Yes, you got this. Just keep going. Don't look back and don't listen to yourself. So rely on other people to be your strength for the moment. We got Shannon says, thank you for sharing, Rachel. You rock. Elizabeth, thank you for sharing your experience, strength, and hope, Rachel. Keep shining. We got Rachel. Thank you for sharing, Rachel. You were amazing. Such an incredible story, and I relate so much with your journey. Inspirational. Great job. David, same. Great job sharing, Rachel. We got my journey in recovery. I've been clean and sober for over 4.5 years, yet my son's dad does nothing but bash me to our son. How should I handle that, Rachel?
I mean, I think that's wrong. If they're bad, you just keep showing up and proving that you are who you are and keep doing the right thing and just keep being better. Like, if somebody else is going to bash you, like, you can't control that. That's on them. And clearly there's some illness there. Just keep being good and doing the next right thing and being amazing. I don't know. That's awful.
Yeah, that's it. All you can do is just keep showing up. It's not a reflection of you. It's mostly a reflection on them. They got old information. They're trying to use old information for new for the new person you are. And it is what it is. He'll heal one day and he'll understand. If not, you can't control it, Let's see. We have Jennifer's. I would say with patience, grace, and compassion and prayer. And I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. That's a reply to that comment. Rachel says nothing's on fire. Just McPadden, don't stroke out. Everything is fine. Everyone's fine. She knows me.
Yeah. When everything was freezing and beeping.
Yeah. Oh god. It's okay though. Whatever happens. I have no control. Yep. Okay. So, wait. We have Lauren says Nikki said heal people.
Yes.
Definitely worth repeating. Yes. I love that. Thank you for repeating that. Oh, we got Zell says 60 days. Congratulations. And we got Michael with 87 days sober. Congratulations. And we got Mark with 9/2/2020. Grateful for another day clean and sober. Congratulations to you all. Thank you so much, Rachel. And I appreciate you coming here and share your story and not missing a beat with all the hiccups. But you know what? Whatever happens. It was worth it. Is worth it. And I'm so grateful for you to come on and share your story.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you guys, we're about to do a video, dropping a video for Christmas, a collab together between me, Rachel, Sonia, Ben, you name it. We got a video coming out shortly. So definitely check it out. All right. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. And you guys check us out next Sunday. We go live every Sunday right here on the Hope Shot. Next week, we'll have topics. Come check us out next week. Until then, have a great week. I love y'all. Good night. Thank you.